Welcome to Comics Versus, a Lorehounds podcast, your guide to the many shades of the sun. I'm Elysia, Crypto's alien healer.
And I'm Jean, here not only to stand for truth and justice, but also the Supergirl way. I'm kryptonite to the haters.
I'm still in vampire lestat mode. I'm like, I have the blood of Akasha.
Oh, gosh.
This movie has the blood of Akasha.
Oh, my.
We are going to talk about Supergirl. We're not going to hate on it. So if you're a fan, feel free to hang out. I have some quibbles. We'll get into our hot takes.
Definite quibbles. Quibbles.
But overall, I've watched it twice now, as I said. So overall, I enjoy it. I enjoy it. But first, let's talk about Comic-Con. Let's check in on. We're recording this just shortly after Comic-Con. Since we cover both Marvel and DC, let's check in on both of their announcements there. So we'll start with that, and then we'll go on to Supergirl. And when we give the Supergirl warning, we'll start with your usual spoiler-free fresh takes, but then we will go full spoilers. So Jean, what does that include? And by the way, thank you for your help with the notes this time.
Oh, yeah. I gotta stretch my intellectual capacity.
Tippity-tappity typing fingers.
Exactly. We'll start with our usual spoiler-free fresh takes, but then we will proceed full-on spoilers from the movie and comic from which the movie is adapted. All DC movies, TV, comic books, everything is on the table as well.
And yeah, there's a section at the end too where we'll talk about some more specific direct comparisons with the source material that this is based on. But before we get into that, Jean, okay, so Marvel and DC made their announcements. Let's start with the other one. Let's start with Marvel, because something kind of happened that you've been asking for. It looks a little different than what you were specifically asking for. How are you feeling, and what is the thing that I'm asking about?
All right, so Feige pulled the trigger. They've not recast T'Challa, but they've rather aged up Toussaint T'Challa.
Well, that kid's not playing him, so they did recast.
Semantics. That's semantics. That is not what I was calling for. As you know, I'm a Toussaint hater.
Well, now he's going to be.
But so David Johnson has been tapped to play T'Challa II, in the new Black Panther 3 movie that will be dropping in 2028. I gotta say, I really like David Johnson. He was not my.
Wouldn't have thought of him, but
I did not think of him. It was all for me. It was always Damson Idris.
Yeah.
But Johnson he's a really good actor, man.
Yeah.
He's a really good actor. And I have to say that I think I was really moved by his performance from The Long Walk. I know some people may not have been, but I certainly
send him to me.
But I certainly was, and I thought this is a great casting. And at the end of the day, I just have to trust Coogler.
Yeah,
that's the end all and be all of it all. I just have to trust Coogler's vision and how he sees the role is going to be embodied by Johnson. And I have the full confidence in knowing that this incredible filmmaker is going to continue with this character. So I feel really good about it.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, I also wouldn't have expected it. Also, part of me thought that, I think I actually said, there's probably some recording of me back in the day saying they're going to age up Toussaint in Secret Wars or something.
You did say that.
So I guess I'm not surprised in that part completely, although I did think, it's also Secret Wars is a chance to bring in someone from another universe who's somebody else. So that question does remain. How are they going to age him up? Because Toussaint, okay, even if we follow, what is it, 10 no, not even 10 years, like 5 years have passed. So he would be a young teen at this point in time, which obviously David Johnson is not. But I'm a big fan. I wouldn't have thought of him for, as you said, for this role per se. But as soon as it's mentioned, it's like, oh yeah, okay, because I love him in The Long Walk is one of my favorite movies last year. Love it. I just have seen him do such a variety of things. I love him in Rye Lane, which is a romance, rom-comish type, Before Sunrise type movie. Loved him in Alien Resurrection. Actually, might be my favorite role. I mean, Resurrection. What am I saying? Romulus might be my favorite role of his in terms of seeing his range.
Okay.
I also watched him recently in Waste Man, which is a British movie set in a prison. It's really devastating. Actually, I have to begrudgingly admit it's quite good. This two central performances are really good, but it's a tough watch, I'll say. But yeah, he's impressed me so much across the board. I can't wait to see what he does with this.
Yeah, I haven't seen Waste Man yet, but everything else that I've seen, Rye Lane, like you mentioned, Alien Romulus, he's a good actor. He's a good actor. So congrats to him. And let's see what the movie will bring.
I like that Coogler also said that a reason he cast him is because of because he thinks he's a good person.
Yeah.
Like Chadwick Boseman. Yeah. I like that. Especially after certain catastrophes. I think it's important that is taken into consideration as well. And not to say that Damson Idris isn't. I do wonder with Damson Idris if, like, now that I'm seeing the promotion for Children and Bone right now, like, is it too, like, was there a concern that he would be playing too similar of roles?
A character,
or something?
Yes. I thought about that when we saw the trailer for Children of Blood and Bone. I did think about that, like. The movies, the characters seem similar, So it'll be interesting. And also just the timing, because Children of Blood and Bone can lead to, a really fantastic universe. So let's see, hopefully it gets the support that, I want it to. And that could also be a part of the calculus. Right. Apart from, David Johnson just being a great talent as well.
Yeah. I can't remember who said this in the Discord, but like when you first posted the news, it showed David Johnson standing on stage with like a fist against his chest as like a thank you. And someone responded, "Don't worry, he has time to learn the other hand," like to put up the Wakandan X.
Yeah, that was funny. I forgot who said that, but that was good. That was good on their part.
But yeah, I also got a partial wish granted.
Yes, you did.
From the Marvel gods.
We got Ryan Gosling is cast as Ghost Rider. And the movie is also scheduled for 2028. The floor is yours.
Yeah. So, I mean, so Ghost Rider is one of my favorite characters for anyone who doesn't know. And I've been saying all along, I was like, I want all three Ghost Riders in Secret Wars. I want Nick Cage back as Johnny Blaze. I want, I'm like, don't see Diego Luna, Gabriel Luna back as Robbie Reyes. And it's been thought for a while that Ryan Gosling would be cast as Danny Ketch, which is like the other most prominent one. And I just think, it makes sense for Secret Wars as a place to just have some fun scene with that, have the three of them ride together, pass the torch to Ryan Gosling, because of course they just announced it, but this has been heavily rumored for, I don't know, years now, I feel like.
Yeah, I think it'll be Johnny Blaze personally.
I'm going to go with Danny Ketch. I think so.
Okay.
But yeah, this brings us a step closer to Midnight Suns, which is something I'm very interested in happening.
I also just saw that who did Obsession? The director.
Oh, the director?
Maybe in play for a Midnight Suns.
No, please, film. No, not him. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's what
I'm sorry,
I heard.
all the Obsession fans, but
that's what I heard. That's what I saw. Let me say
Yeah.
not heard. That's what I saw.
Oh, I'm sorry to the Obsession fans. I think Indy Navarrete is wonderful, and I heard that I just heard that there was. I mean, this is all like rumors based on nothing.
Yes, this is rumors. This is all rumors.
But that she was interested in Mystique. I was like, yeah, that would be great. I think she's great. But I do not like his directing and really dislike his writing.
I can maybe, I don't know about Mystique.
Yeah, no, yeah. I could see that.
I could see Kitty Pryde.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I think that she's up for the challenge of Mystique.
No, she may be. Yeah, that's. I mean, at the end of the day, just give me the characters.
Yeah. Well, I guess I should say also that the ghostwriter director is going to be Sean Levy. And apparently this was like a thing that Ryan Gosling was like, it's got to be him. Yeah. They have some idea together. Yeah, it's not who I would pick.
I'm not happy
for
with that
this type of movie. He's definitely, I mean, people pointed out he did some of the best episodes of Stranger Things and stuff. So he can do horror.
Nah, I'm not happy with that.
Yeah, I'm more open to that than what's his face.
The obsession guy.
Yeah, just blanked his. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm a hater of that movie. I know that a lot of people, most people, seem to love it. Indy Navarrete is great, and the cinematography. There's some good cinematography too.
There was in that film.
Speaking of that, we also there's some trailers.
Yeah, I heard that for the brand new day. The Spidey brand new day, that perhaps they will show the San Diego Comic-Con trailer that was shown in room at Hall H.
Okay.
That will be part of the trailer package. Yes, the Doomsday trailer will be part of the Spider-Man brand new day. So if anyone has seen it, by the time you hear this, if I haven't seen it, just let me know if it's true or not. But hopefully I'll see Spider-Man this weekend.
I'm going, this weekend.
All right, cool.
Getting out those deadlines and that's movie day. And I'm going to see the Odyssey finally too. Like, oh my God, I can't believe I haven't seen this yet.
So you're just bringing dinner to the theater?
It's going to be my, like, I'm doing a double feature of 2 long ass films.
Nice.
No, in the middle of the afternoon because I deserve it.
Yeah,
and also because both of them are, every time I go to look, they are just sold out for a long time in advance. Both of those films are really doing gangbusters at the cinemas in Amsterdam, at least.
Yeah. All over.
Mm-hmm.
All over. Spidey it's going to break records. I think they already broke the record for the Thursday viewing in the States. So it's going to break records.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think I've heard good things thus far. There's been a lot of good. I had to unsubscribe from the Spider-Man Brand New Day chat on our Discord because I'm like, la la la.
Don't want to get spoiled.
I already know the main spoiler, but not a surprise. So, yes, but I hear good things, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's certainly. I'm really looking forward to the movie. Then we got news that Wonder Man season 2 canceled. This was yesterday. This is not coming out of Comic-Con. This was just yesterday. Feige has done it again. So we will not be seeing Simon Williams return to our screens.
Hopefully we will see him come back, but I wanted this. I wanted another season of this.
Yeah.
The pair of them, the writing, the format. I think a bunch of us on the network are going to have Wonder Man in our top 10 this year.
I know I am. It's in my top 5. Yeah,
I mean, I think that...
and it's not 5.
Yeah, I think that it's a lot of people. I've seen nothing but people being sad about it. So it really is baffling to me. I have to guess that it has to do with something about fitting with the whole Secret Wars of it all or something. I don't know. Or that it was just like too tough to get these 2 in-demand actors for the price point they wanted or something like that. I don't know. So since we recorded, showrunner Andrew Guest has come out and clarified some things and just been quite direct about the entire situation. So it's not his fault. It's not the actor's fault. It's not even Feige's fault. It comes down to the new management at Disney. But since he shared this on social media, let's hear it in his own words before we jump back to my conversation with Jean.
Just want to say I've been listening. I appreciate you all. I feel how you all feel. And I just want to clear up what I can here. This is not a marketing stunt. There is no movie in the works, and Destin's schedule and no one's schedule was an issue. Yaya, Destin, Sir Ben, and I all loved making this show, all felt passionately about continuing to do it, and were eager to. Contracts were signed, schedules were cleared. The writer's room was supposed to start this month. The production was supposed to begin early next year, and there was a decision made internally between Disney and Marvel that this didn't make sense for them, even though a few months ago it did. And that's essentially all I really know. Numbers aren't really shared with me. And even though the writer's room hadn't started, I had written the first episode of season 2, and we had an outline for where the season would go, and everyone felt really good about it. It was going to be a really incredible season that hopefully surpassed season 1. I appreciate everybody getting out there and letting your voices be heard about how you feel about this. And I think there's important conversations being had online about the kind of stories that we're prioritizing and the kind of shows platforms want to make. I hope people are listening. And I also hope that Emmy voters are thinking about Yaya, how much he deserves an Emmy for the incredible work he did on this show.
This is baffling to me. This is like the best received film, and I hope this isn't a signal, the best received series in a long time, and I hope this isn't a signal that they're just going to pure formula. That's been my worry with, especially in the film side of things, and I don't.
Yeah.
And the TV side was more where they could play and do more interesting things like this. So, yeah, I'm worried about
Go ahead.
after Vision Quest. I'm worried about what's going to come next on the TV side.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. It really, the show itself was delayed, was done, and they kept pushing it back, almost as if they didn't want to release it. And then remember, we talked about it, like the way that they rolled it out in the very beginning was kind of suspect, but it was just his incredible,
But they had I thought they had some good marketing, but it was non-traditional for Marvel.
I think it was because of Yaya. You know what I'm saying? I think his gravitas in the role when he was on the red carpet, meant something.
When he was doing the red carpet in character and stuff, that was one of the first things. So, yeah.
So it just felt like, wow, okay, this might be something special. And it turned out to be something special. But given that they seemingly kept waiting to release it, didn't bode well. And I just really feel like, and hopefully I'm wrong, but I just really feel that this is about getting back to the Russo Bro, RDJ type of storytelling that was the phase 1 of Avengers, phase 2 of Avengers. This is what they're comfortable with. There was a large outcry from particularly terrible people about wanting to see that return. And I feel like that's what they're leaning into. And it's just doesn't bode well, I think, for diverse storytelling. Not just diverse storytelling as far as the type of stories that are told, but also the characters that are being shown. So I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
but that's just my gut feeling right now.
No, I'm worried about that in general. And this is one of the reasons why, obviously we're going to be talking in a moment about DC for the rest of this, and this is one of the things that I'm most worried about. And I'm so glad that there's been a pause put on the Skydance purchase of Warner Brothers, because I think, there are pressures to limit diverse storytelling for sure right now. Mm-hmm. And I think Disney is subject to them.
And then today, also, this is not from Comic-Con, we get, Masahiro Ali just completely sending a torpedo shot into Marvel directly. Just saying point blank, I was under contract. The company has billions of dollars. If they wanted to make a Blade film, they could have made a Blade film. They didn't make a Blade film. So, with Feige's mea culpa about, I feel terrible about this, and, we just couldn't get it right. I mean, come on.
No, it's also because they're trying to have too much control. And I think that, there should be connective tissue. And that was a problem with rolling out phases 4 and 5 too quickly and too simultaneously. I love both WandaVision, and I actually do really like Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. But having them made at the same time meant that there was such an incongruous connection with Wanda's side of things, who's one of my favorite characters. I'm like, I love her in both, but it just didn't
fit.
Yeah. And so I do think it's a good idea for them to slow down with releases in general. You know what I was just thinking, by the way? So you're talking about Blade, and we were talking about, I was saying I want Midnight Suns. And obviously one of my favorite overall Marvel things, talking about this niche thing, is Werewolf by Night.
Yes.
And so famous composer who directed that special presentation, Michael Giacchino, was saying recently, someone asked him about it, and he was like, well, there's been conversations. We need people to make noise. So this is me making noise. But also, I want him to direct Midnight Suns. That's who I want to direct Midnight Suns.
I think that would be a great choice, actually.
Yeah.
I think he would be a great choice.
Nailed
that Werewolf at Night.
Yeah.
He nailed that.
And I'm not saying Midnight Suns needs to be, this sort of classic universal style, whatever. But he just understands this genre. He understands pacing. I think composers also, you have to understand these things in order to tell the story through the music of a film as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the Marvel side of things.
Okay, but we are here today to talk DC. So what's going on in the DC side of things?
Well, DC didn't really have a presence at SDCC 26. They didn't showcase anything, which was weird. But right before Comic-Con, they dropped 2 trailers. One for Lanterns. The show Lanterns that will be on HBO Max, coming in August, which is 2 weeks away.
We're going to be covering it.
Yes, we will. And the trailer was amazing.
Yeah. Even like we've got people on the Discord saying, I don't even like superhero stuff, but I'll be watching this show.
Yeah.
It's like a sci-fi noir, which, yes, it's like a detective Western. All of the above.
And we were on the Discord talking about Lindelof being involved, and just, I again have to trust visions of certain people, given what he did with Watchmen. I kind of trust the vision. I got to go with it until proven wrong. I have to be optimistic and joyfully optimistic about the prospects for this show. Because of the people involved in it.
Well, I mean, I think the proof is in the pudding, and so far we've gotten a taste with the trailer, and if that's indicative of what we're getting, and it sounds like it is. Sounds like people who've seen more say it is that good. This could be. Do you think, and would you want this to potentially turn into a multi-season thing?
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, I would, but with different casts of
Okay.
characters.
How
Like I
so?
wouldn't need um John Stewart again.
No?
You could give me Jessica Cruz. You
So like an
know,
anthology sort of thing.
yeah, of Green Lanterns.
Okay.
So there are. Don't get me wrong, John Stewart is one of my favorite characters in comics.
Mm-hmm.
Period. But I can see them doing a Green Lantern, like you said, anthology.
Yeah. And so who do you want to set up for people who aren't familiar? Who are the big names that we saw in the trailer?
Yeah, so Sinestro, one of Hal Jordan's, not one of, the chief nemesis of Hal Jordan, and strikes fear in all Green Lanterns. We saw the Manhunters. Please don't be confused. This is not Martian Manhunters. Manhunters are totally different. We'll get into it as the show, comes, but these are not Martian Manhunters. This is not an introduction for the Martian Manhunter into the DCU.
Okay. Good to
know. The
know.
Manhunters are totally separate from that. They are a big part of the Green Lantern mythology and lore. They were the first attempt at this global police, at this cosmic police force that the Guardians tried. Yeah. Who else did we get? We got Guy Gardner.
Yeah, we
Bull cut his back.
Yeah.
It's fresh from his Superman, exposure and shenanigans, and he's going to be popping up in this show as well. So this looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. We got some Red Lantern business possibly happening as well.
And what's a Red Lantern? Because
anger.
It's the Green Lantern Corps, right?
Hope. So the Green Lantern Corps is green. Every color in the DC universe mythology represents some sort of cosmic function. Green, the wielders of the green, hope. So Green Lanterns are hope. Yellow, fear. Red, anger. So these are the emotional spectrum in the DC universe. So we've seen two colors. We've seen the red and the green. Mm-hmm. And with Sinestro showing up, I can only imagine that we'll see some sort of Yellow Lantern Corps as well.
Oh, so they each have their own core?
Yes.
Okay.
Each emotional spectrum has their own core.
Okay. But the hope, it's the heroes.
Hope is said to be the most powerful of them all.
Okay.
Potentially.
Right. I hope so. For humanity.
Which is why Hal is thought of, it's why Hal is thought of as possibly the greatest Green Lantern ever. Okay. Because of his capacity to believe, his capacity to hope.
Okay. But we're getting, it seems like, I said noir aspects. It seems like it's a murder mystery.
Yeah, it does. It's set up in a small town, I think. It's very True Detective type of feel. If anyone has watched True Detective, that's the type of feel that I get. Like this older, more seasoned, veteran cop and the young upstart. And what does that mean for not only the cases that they're trying to solve, but what does that mean for them as individuals? And how can they possibly come together? I think this is a great pairing, actually. I love the idea of an older Hal trying to teach a younger John how to be a Green Lantern, because these are not even possibly, these are the two greatest human lanterns ever.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Well, I'm looking forward to, I think David's he's agreed. He's actually excited about the trailer too once he saw it. And since I'm wrapping up Silo, I think he's going to be taking lead on production for the first few episodes, although I'll take part in some way. We'll figure it out. And then, we're going to be doing weekly coverage of that one for sure. And as you pointed out, the week after that ends, Vision Quest starts.
Yeah. it's like boom, boom, boom. We have so much coming up towards, the end of the summer and also the end of the year and fall and early winter. It's going to be time.
Because we also got another trailer at Comic-Con for DC. We got Clayface, which is
I know you're excited for this.
Yeah, proper horror, proper body horror. Yeah. What do you think of it? I mean, this is up my alley for sure.
No, I really enjoyed the trailer. I thought I wasn't, I told you this before, this would not have been my choice. Clayface, the movie. Yeah, but this looks really interesting.
Very different version of the character than we've seen before.
Yeah. It looks really interesting. And it looks like it could be downright a little bit scary.
Yeah. Well, so screenplay, Mike Flanagan was sort of like the originator, pusher of the idea, but then I guess Hossein Amini took over because Mike Flanagan's, his name's on everything. He's so busy. But I am a Flana fan. So,
a Flana fan.
But I mean, the man is a master of horror. So that already got me excited, and just everything else that I hear has me excited. It's produced by Matt Reeves, but I think it's DCU, but it does feel like it fits in the Batman universe to me.
Well, they said this is the character from Creature Commandos.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So it's not in the
it's DCU.
It's not in the Reeves universe.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Which they keep telling us is not part of the DCU.
Yeah.
But is it?
At this point, just stop confusing us. Just smush them together.
Exactly.
But anyway, we'll definitely obviously be covering that when it comes out in October. But that's not what we came here today. To talk about today. So let's take a quick break now. And when we come back, it's full speed ahead with Supergirl, but we will start with a spoiler-free discussion of our fresh takes and some production information.
All right, cool.
Be right back. So do you want to set up this film for us, Sean?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the second film in the DCU after Superman in 2025. It's the fourth entry overall, which includes Creature Commandos and Peacemaker. It ties in with Superman, but the main focus is on Kara, aka Supergirl. But not much else that we have already seen is in this movie. There's no Creature Commandos. There are no Peacemakers, anything like that.
She's off planet. She's doing her thing. Yeah.
The director is Craig Gillespie.
Gillespie, I think it is. Gillespie.
Craig Gillespie, who hasn't really done a big budget summer hero type of movie before. Yeah. But he's done Laws and the Real Girl, which was,
I thought it was great. I love it.
It was a good movie. Fright Night. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I really he hasn't done a superhero movie before, but I really like all of his other movies. Yeah, like I, Tonya.
Yeah.
Is another
Fright Night. Mm-hmm. The Finest Hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's a pretty seasoned guy. Mm-hmm. You can say that.
I'm sure he learned a lot about this type of production now.
And the writer's name is Anna
Nogueira, I think. Nogueira.
I'm gonna let you say it. First, this is the first feature, their first feature as a writer. Mm-hmm. And interestingly enough, she is also going to be writing the DCU Wonder Woman movies.
Yeah, I know Anna Nogueira. I'm sorry.
Nogueira.
I think it's a Brazilian last name, I assume. But anyway, I know her as an actress, that she's been in a lot of things. I know she was in the Michael J. Fox show for a long time, but I know her personally, first and foremost, as Penny in Vampire Diaries. Okay. And yeah, so as you said, this is her first time writing. And we'll talk about it. But for me, my biggest quibble is with the script. So I am a little
worried
about Wonder Woman. Just because also, like, I know a lot of people rave about the first Wonder Woman movie from the DCEU. And I think the first half of that was great. And I hate the second half of
I hate
the last
the second
act.
half of that movie. Yeah. Especially the final third.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That whole fight in like no man's land. Yeah.
Oh gosh, that was
like,
terrible.
what are we? Yeah, it was like setting up such interesting things when they were in Themyscira. So I'm really having high hopes that they can give me a Wonder Woman I'm more excited about, because it's not a character that I've loved growing up, because she often seemed to me, even though I love female superheroes, sometimes she seemed to me more like a character for men to appreciate than
interesting.
Than someone I felt represented me in the way that She-Ra did. And it's difficult to say, or like Storm, or, you know, my other favorites. And it's difficult to say what I think the difference is. But I just, I was never...
I would love for you to think about that and let me know. Because I've always seen Wonder Woman, the character in the comic books, has always been an ass-kicking wonder.
Yeah, she's ass-kicking, for sure. Yeah, she's ass-kicking, yeah.
And not really, I think, I don't know, I haven't,
I mean, my obviously my comic book, on the DC side in particular, my comic book exposure is much less than yours. So I have read some Wonder Woman comics, but I have to say I've mostly read like older ones because I wanted to see her origins, and that might not be the best.
Oh, are you talking about the older ones?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
no, you don't want to do that.
I like to read old comics.
I know you. So do I. But we got to know what we're getting into.
I know.
When we open them pages.
And I know I should do something like because you were really into, what was the new brand of comics?
Absolute. The Absolute Universe that DC launched. I mean, the Wonder Woman is my favorite out of those three.
Yeah.
Out of the big three,
remember you bigging it up, yeah.
Yeah, Wonder Woman is my favorite one because it leans heavily into, mythology, Greek mythology.
Right.
And away from, it's just a great comic. It's just a great read.
Yeah.
It's just a great read.
So I'm hoping for the best for Wonder Woman. But this one, we have read the comic, the series, the graphic, collected as a graphic novel.
Yes.
This is based on. So what is this based on? This
This
Supergirl
is based
movie?
on Tom King's Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. It's one of the best stories of this past, I don't know, when was it written? 21? So it's one of the best stories since the pandemic, quite honestly.
I mean, but it's also because I grew up, Supergirl was a favorite of mine growing up, I think just because of the 1984 movie, which I will hear no slander about.
As you remind me often.
Yeah. And so I do have some more exposure to Supergirl. I've sought out some more like Supergirl comics and things like that. And we'll get into it when we get into our fresh takes, especially, but I like a rougher around the edges Supergirl. I don't like the early comics were very like Clark Kent copy and paste, but put a skirt on. And I like character stories, and I like how when character stories explore how someone's set of experiences changes their outlook on the world, basically. Right. And Woman of Tomorrow is kind of, as we see in this film as well, is kind of all about that.
And shout out to Bilquis Evely, who drew on that comic book, which was
one of the most beautiful comic books ever.
Illustrated books that you will ever find, whether you collect them individually or you get the collected edition. It's just wonderful. This was filmed at the Warner Brothers Studios in Leavesden in the UK, and also some locations in Scotland, which I wasn't aware of. I didn't know that.
I did, because when I watched it, I immediately had to look up because there were some beautiful landscapes.
Yeah, and I didn't know that it was the UK. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
that's
Scotland
nice.
specifically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It had a budget of between 170 and 185 million. Opened with an estimated 37.1 million domestically. And the total box office so far, I think it was 124.6 mil.
And now we're releasing this episode now for two reasons. One is just because it's been too crazy with everything else. You see our feed, you know how busy it's been, but also because it just released on video on demand starting on the 28th.
Yes.
So it's now available to watch at home digitally.
You should watch it.
Yeah.
So the ratings, what do we have here? Rotten Tomatoes, 53% critics and 74% from the fans.
Critics are mean.
Yeah. And then we have the Metacritic ratings was 50 from the critics and a 4.8 from the fans. And Letterboxd had it at a 3.1.
And I'll say on Letterboxd, a 3.1 is a solid rating.
It's not bad. It's not awesome, but it's
I would say in a Letterboxd terms, a 3.0 is considered like a dead average movie.
Okay.
Although I'll give what I think a dead average movie is a 2.5.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. This is had enough people who loved it. It's not like hated upon. It's not. Yeah. If it's below a 3, that's when it starts to be like.
Right. And finally, we have a peculiar rating, which for those who are unacquainted with it, this is for our resident professor of all things Tolkien, Marilyn, who is a Lorehounds voice everywhere. She is awesome, but she is adverse to violence.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't say that I don't respect it because I do.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a rating on whether she should watch films or not.
Yeah. And it's
based on the violence.
It's about emotional violence too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Emotional, physical violence, gore, and all of that stuff. So on our peculiar rating, this scores 8.2, which would mean Marilyn, I think no.
Yeah, I would say it's a maybe for her, but I don't think there's some themes in there that I don't think she would appreciate. That I don't necessarily. That's not my favorite part. Either.
I didn't appreciate those themes either.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah, but that's what we have.
Yeah, but then there's other themes that I do appreciate in the film. I'll say so. So, what do you think of the movie overall? We're keeping it still spoiler free. Don't worry, listeners.
I mean, Millie Alcock and Eve Ridley, they were both wonderful. Millie Alcock is Supergirl. Eve Ridley is Ruthie. They're the main protagonist of the story. And I think they acted the hell out of these roles. I really like how they showed why Kara and Kal-El is Clark Kent, but why they are different, because they were not raised the same way, to say the least. So I enjoyed watching why we don't have this, you know, what did you term the movie last year? The Superman movie, Hope Punk? That's what you termed it?
Yeah.
And I would say this is not Hope Punk.
I would say by the end it is, but it's also because like by the end, well, I guess I shouldn't say.
Yeah, I can't say that now. I think the visuals were awesome. There were some amazing shots in this. Really, really well done fight choreography and just really nice. I do like Clem, of the Yellow Hills as a villain. And I know a lot of people didn't. But I will say that I'm okay with the bad guy not being a universe level threat.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. Were there some things that I probably would have liked to see a little bit more truer to the comic book? a little bit, but overall, he was fine as a villain. He was fine. He was fine. I loved Lobo. I wish they had more of Lobo in the film. That was one of the things that, I lamented upon leaving the theater, was needed more Lobo. And I didn't think that it felt particularly close to 2 hours in length. It's an hour and 48 minutes. It didn't feel that way to me.
Yeah. I think I often feel this way. It felt faster on a rewatch.
Okay.
But I think it's also because, like, I don't know. Yeah. And the first time I get lost in the sauce. So then it seems to, I don't know. I don't know like where it's going and stuff. So that always feels longer to me. But then in a rewatch, it's sped by.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at. How about you? What did you think?
Overall, I would say that I enjoyed it. It has not replaced the 1984 film in my heart.
Can anything replace the 1984 film?
I mean, theoretically,
but no.
I want to see like Greta Gerwig's Supergirl, and maybe.
Okay, right.
But I do hope that it will connect with, because the 1984 film is excoriated by people as well, and it was considered a bomb and blah 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 blah. Even though like I had no idea as a child at the time.
Right.
It's the same with She-Ra. I was like so into them, and I had no idea that it was considered like that. I don't know, not cool or whatever for men. And so I hope that this film will connect with in the same way with girls today. I do worry about those certain themes that we mentioned, which I guess maybe we should say in a content warning style, just that it deals with themes of sex trafficking, basically. So
yes.
That is the one thing that I worry about. Too young of an audience, in the same way that the Helen Slater film connected with me at a young age. But anyway, I love Millie Alcock as Supergirl. I think that she is perfect as particularly this version of Supergirl from the Woman of Tomorrow comics that, I also really like. See also, My Adventures with Superman also has a similar take on Supergirl, the animated series that I still need to start season 3 on, but I'm looking forward to it.
You haven't started season 3?
I have to catch up. I have to catch up.
Slacking.
I haven't been able to watch anything that isn't for like writing or podcasting.
Oh my gosh.
But now that certain things are winding up, then now there's going to be more time. I'm going to catch up on that for sure. That's one of the top ones on my list because I love that version. I love that version of Supergirl. I love that version of the story overall. But yeah, I like I was saying before, I like that Supergirl has a different history from Clark, and I want to see that play out differently. I love this line in the film where Ruthie is asking about him, and she says to Ruthie, "He sees the good in people. I see the truth." And yeah, it's a bit cynical, but it's a good characterization in that line. Overall, I think the casting is great. I do think they underused Lobo. As far as Krem, I think that I love his design. They decided to go with Viking influence design, and you can really see that in the piercings and stuff. I think it looks cool. I do wish the character personally had more dimension or I don't know. It was like his consistent trait was just like being a bad dude. Just like
sometimes that's all there is to you.
I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes
and it comes down to I really only have one problem with the film, but I hate to say that it's the writing, which is
the most important,
the core of it for me. yeah. And it's just it's the scripting. There's some lines that I just really love. I'll bring up at least one more later. But then there's some that are really like feel like a first screenplay. And
it is, isn't it?
It is. And I don't know. So I hope with Wonder Woman, maybe some of those will be smoothed out or shaken off. There's just some tropey things. And I think there was also a lot of people are commenting there's weird things going on with the editing that can make that feel weirder too. But some of the lines I was like, but I loved the comic references. I went in, people were saying like, oh, they're bashing on the comic and stuff, which, I went and looked up the interviews and no, they're not. She read the comic and you can see that in the script, and the director, Craig Gillespie, anyway, he he made some comments about like, taking from visual scenes. And I think people just kind of ran with that too far. But when I watched this movie, it absolutely, more than most comic book movies, feels like an adaptation of the source. They did change a lot of things. We'll talk about those things, but it does feel like they are telling the story in the comic book, just with some changes, but not nearly as many changes as, say, like Silo or Interview with the Vampire. And I love those things. So I don't reject something just because it makes changes. And I think some of the changes they made here are really interesting, and we'll get into it. I especially liked how they handled the immigrant experience aspects of the story, as the treating Kara as, someone who's come to a strange land where she doesn't speak the language and has trauma in her past, and the impact of all that. And yeah, I think that for me, on the story side of things, was the strongest element. On the writing side of things, I should say. And I was blown away by the alien designs. Now, I know they borrowed at least one unused Star Wars design. People immediately caught it and called it out because it's from a cut scene in The Last Jedi. So I wonder if and I don't mind if they did this at all, if they like went to other famous alien productions or like, have any unused aliens? We need to populate our film with a bunch of aliens. And it worked. There's a bunch of really cool and diverse alien designs in there. So I really like that. And the music, I don't like the song that opens the film, but I liked the controversial needle drop.
I don't understand why it's controversial.
Yeah, we'll talk
fine,
about
man.
how it's used.
Yeah.
It's used in the last act of the film, so that's definitely behind the spoiler warning. But yeah, I actually quite liked it, and I think it's the juxtaposition of it being like this kind of lighter thing and being caught in the middle of this chaos. Yeah,
I didn't. Yeah. So, I mean, whatever. Yeah, I didn't get the hate for it.
And I just thought, for the most part, on the visual front, I thought it was fantastic. We got Anna B. Shepherd and Neil Lamont on the costume design and production design, respectively. Rob Hardy doing the cinematography. What else did Rob Hardy do?
Annihilation in 2018. Excellent. Mission Impossible Fallout, Ex Machina.
Yeah.
In 2014, Civil War in 24. So Hardy's been doing his thing.
Yeah. And like I said, I loved the on location shoots in Scotland, and there was like a fun Fifth Element's one of my favorite movies from growing up, and there was definitely some fun Fifth Element vibes in here overall. Yeah. Did you have any other spoiler-free thoughts?
Nah, let's talk about the movie.
Okay. All right.
Like an hour in.
Well, we've been talking about the movie for the past
I know.
20 minutes.
I teasing, kid.
All right. We're going to take a quick break again just to give people who don't want the spoilers a chance to get away. When we come back, it will be full spoilers for Supergirl 2026. You are warned. Okay, we are back. Full spoilers on the table. Shall we begin with Kara's backstory?
Yeah. During the destruction of the planet Krypton, scientist Zor-El and his wife Allura evacuate along with many Kryptonians to Argo City, where Zor-El activates a force field system that separates a chunk containing the city of Krypton, preventing it from being destroyed when the planet's core explodes. 8 years later, Allura gives birth to her and Zor-El's daughter, Kara. Eventually, it is discovered that the separation of Argo City exposed a mineral known as kryptonite, which is slowly killing the citizens via radiation. After Allura succumbs to kryptonite poisoning, Zor-El decides to send Kara and her daughter, Krypto, on a ship headed to Earth. Upon landing, they are greeted by Kara's cousin, Kal-El, Clark Kent. who is living a double life, and as Clark and as Superman. Kara later tries to adjust to her new life on Earth, while also adopting the moniker Supergirl.
So,
what do you think?
What did you think of Millie Alcock as Supergirl? I said what I thought of the casting.
Nah, I thought she was great. I think she really embodied the spirit of this story, right? I thought she portrayed Kara's angst and just overall loneliness really well, her anger really well, and just the confusing place that someone is in their life when everything has been uprooted, everything that she knew is gone, and now she has to adjust. I thought Millie Alcock was just, they were really good in this film.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I believe her as Supergirl.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, and I think that is something actually that it has in common with the 1984 movie. It does also dwell on this backstory, although this one gets more, I'll say, the advantage when it comes to dealing with the emotional impact of coming from this city in the sky that died and everyone you knew died. I think this movie does have the advantage there, actually, where, just seeing what would it be like if you were the only person saved from everything you knew growing up.
Right.
The survivor's guilt is intense, and Millie Alcock portrays
really
that
feel
really
it.
well.
Yeah, you really feel it. And so I thought she was it was a great casting.
Yeah.
In my point. And I think her chemistry with
Ruthie.
Oh no, with Clark. Who plays Clark? David.
Oh, Corn Sweat.
Thank you. I thought their back and forth. You could feel like some sort of familial attachment between the two of them, trying to bridge a gap. That only in ways that family tries to deal with each other. Like, I can't just kick you out. I just can't let you.
You're a dog. You're a damn dog.
Yeah. We're family. So I can't just say, get the fuck out and don't come back. Like, you might be able to do with a friend.
Well, he wants her there. He wants her there.
Because she's a connection to his family that he's lost as well.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I think he also, because he's a good person and he understands that she's, he's been raised on Earth and she has not. I think he wants to provide what was provided for him by the Kents.
Right.
I like James Gunn described this version of Supergirl as pixie-ish, but very attitudinal. Like, that's fair. And described her as an anti-hero. And we'll get into the ending, but they definitely changed the comic book ending. And she does something that she's like, Ruthie, do as I say, not as I do. Pow.
Yeah. Which I don't mind.
Yeah.
I didn't mind that at all. I think some people, felt the ways about it, but I did not. For this story and the way this adaptation flowed, it made perfect sense for me to end it that way.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's interesting to see, because again, like, to bring up the Adventures of Superman, season 2 was particularly about a similar sort of journey for Kara coming to Earth. And in the case of that, like, minor spoilers for that, she was raised by Brainiac of all people, or machines in this case. And just how learning through Clark the kindness exists, and it's not just something you have to hide and protect in yourself, but it can actually be a strength. And I think that that's something that Clark gives to her. And also in this case, we see with the memory of her mother and her parents. So we had Emily Beecham as Allura Insay, and then David Krumholtz as Zor-El. And I know I'm not the only one who took a beat to recognize David Krumholtz. If, like, I used to love him from, for instance, the Santa Claus growing up.
I don't remember that one.
The Tim Allen movie where he played an elf.
Nah,
I think he was the head elf.
I'm not a Tim Allen guy. never
it
have
was something
been.
we watched every Christmas. It's a Christmas
Yeah.
classic.
Oh no.
Okay.
Not in my household.
Okay.
We
Anyway,
not.
but I loved there's another quote that I loved was that Allura said to Kara, "You are," or no, I guess sorry, it was actually Zor-El who said this to
Sorrel.
her.
Yeah.
"You are our souls unfolding into the future," and I think that's true from all parents to their kids. But that's sort of like,
Definitely.
but it's especially because they knew she would have to live on without them.
In that moment, that was a beautiful that and I was sitting next to E
Mm-hmm.
watching the movie. So there were the whole thing with Argo City hit quite hard for me. They did well with that. Yeah, if for those who don't know, E's my 10-year-old. So, having him next to me in those scenes was just like, yeah, this type of shit I probably would fucking do. You know what I'm saying? Like, get your ass in this rocket ship because you're not gonna succumb to this. You know what I mean? Not if I have the power to stop it. And that was his only intent. It wasn't on trying to save, the city, trying to save himself. It was just like, I'm going to try to save my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And also, what does that do to her? Which is what this film is really about.
Yeah. Yeah.
What does that do to her? Like you said, survivor's guilt, survivor's remorse. Having to get into that rocket ship and see and know that your father's gonna die.
Yeah.
It's something.
So that's her backstory. So what's her situation in the present, particularly like what is her deal with the suns? There's a lot of sun color talk in the comic book too, we'll say, of course.
Yeah, so yellow sun powers Kryptonians. So Superman, Supergirl, any Kryptonian.
Like our sun is yellow.
Yes. So the Earth's sun is yellow. Any yellow sun feeds their cells with this radiation, solar radiation, that makes them the powerful beings that they are. Different color suns, and they react differently. What was the color on the planet? What was it?
There's red on the planet Ruthie's from.
Yes. So the red sun takes away.
Is Krypton red then? Because they're not superpowered there, right?
No, they're not. They're not. Yeah. So the red sun takes away their powers, Kryptonians, so they don't function like they would under the yellow sun. They're no super strength, super speed, can't fly. None of the things that you normally associate with Superman or Supergirl can they do under a red sun. So that's where we're at. So she likes to go to planets with red suns. Why? So she could get drunk. Like if she stays on Earth and she drinks, it doesn't affect the Kryptonian because their metabolism is so supercharged, superpowered that there's no way alcohol or any drug really can take a hold. So she goes off world to places where she knows her metabolism will not, impede the high. And this is what she wants to do, to try to get away. I gotta say, I mean, I think that's fucking relatable.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Yeah. Although, okay, here's my question. So we saw her at the end of Superman. She comes back from it's also her birthday and she's gone off world partying. And that time she left Crypto, the dog, behind. And that's the plot of Superman. Please see *see Superman for more information. But anyway, and then she comes back at the end and that's when we learn that Crypto is actually her dog and she hasn't trained him and that's why he's such a naughty boy. And now she's traveling for her birthday. So is this like a year later? Is that what we're supposed to understand?
I thought it was. I didn't think it was a direct line from the end of the Superman movie to this movie. Mm-hmm. I think some time has passed. Yeah.
Okay. And I guess she went for a birthday week, she said. But it sounds like when Clark is calling her and stuff, it sounds like she's spending a lot more time off world than just that, like off Earth.
She doesn't want to be around. She wants to, forget. All right. She's depressed and she's sad and she's, not caring. And she's in those feelings. She's in those emotions and not talking about them. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. How did you feel about how Clark was used in this film?
Just right.
Yeah.
I think. Because, if you put Clark Kent, Kal-El, Superman in the film, they can overpower it. The character is the character. And then the movie would become about how Superman reacts to Supergirl. And that's not what we wanted. That's not what I wanted. I wanted this to be a story about her.
He's not in the comic that it's based on.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. So I wanted this to be a story about her. And that's what they gave us. They gave us a story about her. I think he's in it just the right amount of times. Yeah. And I don't have a problem with that. I didn't have a problem with it. Did you?
I think it was well used. I think that, we establish at the beginning with these video calls that it grounds it immediately. Like, this is the same universe as the Superman movie we just saw. But then also, that it establishes her conflict in the sense that her conflict is sort of, she feels homeless and Clark says, please accept Earth as your home, and in a way, like, and me with it, and then by the end of the movie, we see, they're in the same room, and by establishing that relationship, it gives her something to go home to, to complete that arc. And it also sets it up very well to see. Now, I'm super excited. I cannot wait more than anything from this to see the two of them team up together.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that there's a fun, like, it's like a sibling dynamic between them, but it is almost like he's being sort of a dad in a way, and he's going to have to let that go. It's like, you're only 10 years older than her and you're not her dad. She had a dad.
And also, he was the baby.
Mm-hmm. But that's in the comic. It's different here. Yeah.
No, that's what. That's the thing. It's like there's this dynamic. She was older.
Yeah.
I don't know if is it different in the movie?
Yeah, because in the movie she wasn't born until Argo City was already around for like 9 years.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So he's 10 years older than her, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a change from the comic source material where she's like physically younger, but it's because she was in stasis longer.
Yes.
In the comics. Yeah. Yeah. So that's a change. I liked that it opens with Crypto peeing on that newspaper, and we see this headline for Superman. But if you pause it, then you see there's a smaller article where she looks really uncomfortable with her hair tied back and stuff, like big smile. And it's like, Supergirl saves cats, which is funny because she's clearly a dog person. But it is also funny because was it the original Superman with Christopher Reeves, or was it Superman 2? I think it's the original one where he saves a cat at one point in the film, and it became this whole concept in screenwriting. There's like a screenwriting book, famous one called Save the Cat, about screenwriting like tips. And one of the things is you establish that your hero is a hero by having them do something in the beginning that's small but heartwarming, like when Superman saved the cat from a tree at the beginning of Superman.
It was the first one. It was the first one. It was the first Superman movie that happened.
Yeah. What did you think about the use of? So we have a conlang being used in here for Kryptonian. So it was done by the language was put together. Also, is in the Superman movie by David J. Peterson and Jesse Peterson. But David J. Peterson especially is known for example, making Dothraki and High Valyrian in the Song of Ice and Fire universe. And but this language is called Se and Krypton. I liked they had aliens speaking other languages throughout.
Yeah, I thought that was great. I think another thing that I really liked about this is how Zor-El paints a totally different picture of his expectations for her once she reaches Earth, as opposed to what Jor-El wanted Clark to do.
Yeah.
Right. And it's, you just, the differences between helping, which is what, we always think of Superman as being there for, and ruling. Right. And so this was really a nice way to point out the differences within Kryptonian society, as well as between Kara and Kal-El. You know what I mean? Like, everybody doesn't fit in the same basket. And it's not just looking at these two characters that we can see that, but we can also see that with their backgrounds, like who their parents were, what they thought, and how they viewed power is two totally different things. So I thought that was a nice touch to add.
Yeah, it's definitely controversial that they made Jor-El, and they made Clark's Superman, Kal-El's Kryptonian parents, not the Kents. The Kents are lovely, obviously, but his Kryptonian parents. The fact that they made them, give him this message of, we want you to be a conqueror, basically, and we see that referenced in this by Kara's parents, who do not agree with this. But it's interesting. So Kara was raised by parents with more kindness in their hearts, it seems. And obviously we see that that competes with her pain in terms of, which way she goes on the morality scale, and ultimately being raised by kind parents wins out with her. Because in most cases.
No, because I can think of a scenario where she comes to Earth, if she had the same parents that Clark had on Krypton, if they were from the same mold, when she comes to Earth, she's, burning everything down. You know what I'm saying? She's, red eyes are blazing immediately. So I just really like that they made that distinction, because I wasn't bothered by the Jor-El thing in the Superman movie. It didn't bother me at all. But I think it's good storytelling when you can say these characters from the same place, they have the same power set, whatever, but they're not made from the same mold. Like, how do we get Supergirl out of her trauma and into the stage, the place where her parents thought that she could be?
Yeah.
Right. And the opposite is of Clark. You were raised to be opposite of the place where your parents wanted you to be. So I think it's an interesting dichotomy that we have set up between the two of them. And it's going to be even more interesting when they, at some point, have to introduce even more Kryptonians into the DCU universe.
Right. Yeah. I mean, this will probably be the last time I bring this up. Sorry. But in season 2 of My Adventures with Superman, it's interesting to contrast them, because, as I said before, we have this version of Supergirl who was raised by Brainiac. And so she was raised being taught this domineering mentality, where the things Brainiac was saying in that show sound just like the things that Superman's biological parents were saying in that video in Superman. Superman only heard that message as an adult, after he's like, oh God, no. Whereas Kara had that indoctrinated in her from childhood in this other version, in the animated version. So it is an interesting contrast, and how that affects them. I do still hope that they explore more about Superman's parents and why they thought that, because that, to me, especially after seeing Kara's parents, it feels incongruous to me. Like, why would these two brothers have such different ideologies? I would love a prequel film set on Krypton, to be honest.
That would be amazing. Would be amazing. But again, when we get introduced to other Kryptonians, I think those things will be fleshed out a little bit more.
Yeah. But as I was saying, yeah, it's about the languages. It's cool. There's the 5 alien languages in this film, and it's nice, especially that we have the guy David J. Peterson from the Game of Thrones world, the House of the Dragon world, because Abby was just telling me, I think in a private conversation when we were talking about House of the Dragon, that he was saying wasn't allowed to be on set for that show, but he was commenting on, like, people were asking him who does the best High Valyrian, and he said Millie Alcock.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I loved also, I said I thought that the immigrant experience was one of the stronger aspects, and one of the bits that was when she showed up and she's speaking Kryptonian, doesn't understand English, and he's like, "Oh, ooh, I wasn't raised there. Why am I talking louder?" That dynamic between them. And I wouldn't mind to see in the future more exploration of how she learned English and things like that, because she speaks quite American English now, which is not Millie Alcock's natural accent.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, do you want to set up an antidote to revenge?
Okay. While stopping on the planet Halzer, Kara encounters Ruthie Marie Nall, the last survivor of her family who were murdered by Krem of the Yellow Hills, leader of a ruthless bandit group known as the Brigands. Ruthie requests Kara's assistance in her quest for vengeance, but is denied. Krem hijacks Kara's ship alongside several Brigands and shoots Crypto with a poisonous dart when he tries to stop them. Upon learning that Crypto has only 3 days left to live, Kara decides to pursue Krem to retrieve an antidote that he keeps on his person, while also reluctantly taking on Ruthie as her companion. What did you think about this setup?
Can I just say that I found the most upsetting thing, unnecessary, was her saying, "I'm sorry, the Crypto is going to be in a lot of pain during the days while we're doing this." I could not stop thinking about that for the rest of the movie. Every scene, I'm just thinking, Crypto's in pain right now. Crypto's in pain right now. Like,
no.
And this was a big difference where, okay, so we haven't quite gotten to this part, but in the film versus the comic, one big change is that it turns out at the end of the comic that Crypto was actually fine. It was not so difficult to heal. But it was actually Kara saying this because she wanted to go on this quest with Ruthie and teach her about not doing revenge, basically, which is a theme, obviously, that comes back here too. Yes. But there's this scene when they're in the cave on the planet when the green sun is up, so Kara's trapped, and Ruthie's like, "I'm so sorry. I thought she was about to confess that because she translated for the healer to Kara. Yes. I thought she was going to say, the healer said it's easy to heal, but I tricked you to come along and help me," and she didn't say that. And then I was like, even though I wrote that in my head, I was kind of disappointed it didn't play out like that for some reason. And well, I guess also just because it meant that Crypto really was in pain the whole time.
Poor Crypto.
Poor Crypto.
Yeah, poor Crypto. What did you think about Eve Ridley?
Yeah, I thought that she was a great casting for this. Any problems I have with the character come down to the writing, not the acting. I just thought that it was a case of just a sudden switch from one stereotype, the damsel in distress, to another stereotype, the badass. It's just like the green sun kicked in, Kara got weaker, and suddenly she can fight out of nowhere. So yeah, my only problems with the character are about that, but I thought the casting was great. I thought she, I think she portrayed it very well. I would be happy to see more of her. I was happy to see them go off together at the end, except I was like, wait, how old are you, little girl? You're going to go off on a pub crawl?
On a bender.
Yeah. They did amp up. Well, first of all, shout out to her dad in this show, Elias Knoll, played by Ferdinand Kingsley, who's George from Silo. I like the change that they made him a famous swordsman versus a rock farmer in the comic. I do think that should have motivated more what Krem was after. I think that's kind of my thing with Krem is like I could never tell what he was after other than just like being bad for the sake of being bad. Like I don't know what his personal goals were because whenever he would pursue something, it would be like, oh, I caught the girl who got away and now I just killed her. Like, okay. Oh, I got your ship, but now I just left it behind. Like, okay. And so I wasn't sure why, like what motivated him to kill her entire family. That's a change instead of just her dad.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted. I don't think they intended to kill the brother.
I mean, he killed the brother first, and then maybe it was just like all bets are off. I
think when the brother just
was trying to surprise, Ruthie, just trying to be like,
I think
boom.
That was just like reflex. It was like, okay, boom.
Yeah.
And then once that deed was done, it was just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Everybody did.
But what did he want in the first place?
I think he came for the sword, no?
I mean, but then he left it.
The greatest weapon.
But then he didn't take it. So, yeah, that's the thing. Is like, I don't know. He didn't seem to follow through on the things that he was supposed to want.
I think he came for the sword. He might have come for the sword, but he also, I don't know. I think Krem of the Yellow Hills was, again, not a very complex, world-ending, universal threat. Just your run-of-the-mill.
I'm fine with a small threat.
Bad guy.
I just want,
Because once once they showed what they were about, what the brigands were actually doing and why they were pirates and pirating the seas, the space, ports and all of that stuff. Then I came to understand that, all right, this is just a regular ass criminal. What I didn't like, a departure from the comics was that they made him powerful, like super powered. Like in the comics,
I guess.
Yeah, I think he was.
I guess he could hold his own too well against Kara.
Yeah, and in the comics he wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
He was just a regular, human.
I didn't think of him as superpowered in the film, but he was, he was holding his own too well against Kara. But I suppose they did at least have to first like drug her in order for him to be able to fight her.
But even still, the drugs haven't fully taken effect. One punch should be able to, you know what I mean?
But the thing is, my problem with him is like, I think you can boil it down to the whole prison scene, which we'll set up shortly. But when Ruthie is in prison, she meets Lobo there, on the in the brig on the brigand's ship. She meets Lobo there, and she's basically kind of making the same complaints about Krem that I am. She's like, he's like, has no purpose. He's just killing for sport. And Lobo's like, well, sport is a purpose. hunting for sport is doing something. But I disagree that he's even doing that, because I think, it's like calling squishing ants hunting for sport. So, okay. Anyway.
No, I can't say that your complaint is off.
Mm-hmm.
It's just for me, I was just okay with him being just that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was a Belgian actor, Matthias Schoenaerts. So it was, I didn't even recognize him at first because of the design. I did, as I said, I really liked the design that they went with the whole Viking thing, and they did like research into Viking stuff and piercings and studs. I thought that was a cool choice. I know it looks a little different from the comics, but I think it's nice to have, especially since they can't have that artwork that we have in the comics. It adds a nice distinctive visual flair to the whole.
I thought the whole look of all the brigands, I thought they looked cool.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mind the change. I think he looked menacing. Krem, that is, properly menacing, properly, okay, I know that's a bad guy when I see him on screen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not supposed to root for this guy. So I was cool with the way that they made those changes. I did miss the red beard though. I will say that.
Okay.
I did miss the beard that Krem sported in the comics because I thought that was really distinctive. But the face piercings in the movie is distinctive as well. So we have that.
Yeah. Well, to set up the next block of plot, after a brief skirmish with the Scalarian raiders, a group of space pirates, Kara interrogates them and learns of Krem's location on the planet Bilquis, which is named after the artist from the comic. There, although I'll say, of all the planets to name after her, why did you choose the darkest and dreariest one? Anyway. There, Kara and Ruthie learn from a local couple, Bomar and Marek, that the brigands have been kidnapping young women to force them to be their brides. Marek attempts to drug Kara to trade her and Ruthie to the brigands in exchange for their daughter Sarna, but Kara resists and fights the brigands and is assisted by the bounty hunter Lobo, who is targeting the brigands' lieutenant, Drom Baxton. Amidst the battle, Kara stops Ruthie from killing Krem, allowing him to escape after killing Bomar and his family. A guilt-ridden Kara decides to pursue Krem alone and is escorted by several local aliens to the brigands' location on another planet, Barrington. However, Kara is weakened by the planet's green sun and is tended to by Ruthie, who secretly followed her. So, yeah, the theme that I think we're both iffy on is this whole... I mean, we've been having so many conversations about how House of the Dragon treats the subjugation of women and, just sexual assault themes and stuff.
Yeah.
And this to me felt, and I know it was written by a woman, but it felt to me of a similar, slightly lazy vein. And because I'm not saying don't explore those themes, I'm just saying when you do it for a reason, not just to have like a shortcut for this guy bad. Okay. Actually explore it, and not just to have like a girl power moment at the end.
I think that's the critique of Krem that makes more sense for me, was that once he killed Ruthie's family, they could have explored who he was, right? But the sex trafficking aspect was what I think the movie was trying to make us feel like this is why he's so bad. Right? And I don't think we need that to tell me somebody's bad. I will say that, again, E didn't pick up on any of that stuff.
Okay.
Watching the film with. Even afterwards, we talked about it, and I think, my better half spoke to him about the movie as well. She didn't see it, but she just asked him about it. But he never picked up on those things or those themes. But for us, it's like we don't need that. It was not needed to explain to us, to show us how bad of a person Krem of the Yellow Hills is. Because we already saw him kill her family for no reason at all. You know what I mean? Like, that didn't add any extra layer to the Brigands or to the movie itself for me. And that's the one solid critique that I do have of the film.
It's a bit about the comic thing. One of the coolest locations from the comic made it into the film, which is that space bus.
Yeah.
What did you think about that?
No, I thought that the whole sequence with phasing in and out, and that was really cool. The bus, I've been on Greyhounds when I was younger, and I know that feeling when somebody plops down next to you and you're like, why? Why this seat? You know what I mean? And you're looking for another seat to sit down in. But the bus is packed and you can't find another seat. And you have to endure. It's just, So I felt that in that moment watching the movie. I was like, yeah, I remember those days. I can recall that. But I thought the whole sequence was really well done. The fight scenes were were really cool. Which is throughout the movie, I thought the fight scenes were really well done.
Yeah. Important question for you. At the alien rest stop, would you eat the popcorn? The poop corn?
Absolutely not.
I mean,
no.
This is when I pull an I'm vegan.
Absolutely
I do
not.
actually eat cheese, but yeah.
No, I'm not eating. No, never. Not going to do it. No, thank you.
I just can't believe she watched that thing poop it out.
I know.
Bought it, paid money for it, and then was surprised when it tasted like shit. Like you saw how it was made. It's going to be aromatic, I would guess. Oh. What did you think of Seth Rogen's cameo as the little bus ride translator who didn't have the balls to go for the yellow star and randomly drops some backstory about leaving his daughter or something?
Yeah. They could give me like a little, I don't know. They could do something with the space bus, I think, with those two characters.
I think a mini-sode spin-off.
Yeah, I think they could do something with those two characters. I think they could do something with those two characters.
And the random people who get on the bus.
Yes. I would be seated for that.
Yeah.
Give me 15 minutes, 20 minutes or whatever. 6, 7, 8 episodes, 20 minutes a piece. I think that would be good viewing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed. It was a great setting from in the comics, and I thought it was well used. I was obviously one of the big visual references that Gillespie used. What did you think of? Much has been made ever since the start of the DCU was announced of the casting of former Aquaman Jason Momoa as Lobo. Did it live up to your expectations?
Yes, absolutely, 100%. Yes. This is the role for this guy in superhero movies. Yeah, this is the role for him. And I hope that DC gives him a lot more to do in the future in the role, because I really enjoyed the screen time that Lobo had in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, I still think the casting is good. I liked him as Lobo. I do wish the character had felt more fully integrated into the film overall. Again, that just comes down to my writing quibbles.
Yeah.
Like it really felt like at the end, I was like, there's no way that he's even in the same room as them in certain scenes, because it felt like a lot was filmed in pickups or something. Yeah. So I don't know exactly about the behind the scenes stuff, but I'm glad he's established in this universe. He's established as having a relationship with Supergirl, because they have some cool team ups in the comics. So I'm hoping that we will see more from that in the future then. Yeah. What's his backstory though for people? I mean, they set it up, but what's his backstory?
Well, he's a bounty hunter. He has a space motorcycle. He wears leather. He smokes a cigar. Think Arnold Schwarzenegger.
All the time. Always cigar.
Yeah. Think Arnold Schwarzenegger and whatchamacallit, Predator.
Uh-huh.
The first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That type of machismo, bravado. He's the last of his kind. The last
Did he really kill his whole planet?
That's what they say.
Okay.
That's what they say. It's like he's the first Viltrumite. But yeah.
Viltrumites wanted to kill the other planets, right?
But they killed each other first.
Okay.
They kill each other first. So Viltrumites, it's another property.
Right. Invincible.
Yeah. So yeah, he's can't die really. At least in the comic books. Any piece of him that is left, if there's a finger ear, anything that has any scrap of genetic material, he will regenerate from any sort of wound. So he's functionally immortal at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, super powered. He's as strong as Superman. So really, really cool, badass type of character. And a lot of times when he was first introduced, he was introduced as a villain. Wasn't an anti-hero or anything. He was a straight up villain. But he's become an anti-hero.
Yeah. And it's interesting that the Woman of Tomorrow comic that this is based on, he's not in it, but
No.
but originally the plan was to have him in it, and then but DC was like, actually, no, we can't let you use him because we're planning something else for him at the moment. So this is a change from the comics, but it is also a change back to an original intention.
Idea, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Shall we take a quick break here? And when we come back, let's get into the climax of the film?
Yeah.
All right. So what happens next in the movie?
So then we have Ruthie is later kidnapped by the brigands and taken to their ship, where Lobo is also imprisoned. Ruthie manages to escape her cell and free Lobo, but is caught by Krem as she makes it topside. She is then saved by Kara, who has managed to recover after the planet rotates to a yellow sun and has donned her Supergirl suit. With Lobo's assistance, Supergirl defeats the brigands and frees the captive women on board. So the green sun, as opposed to the yellow sun, to the red sun, a green sun will take away a Kryptonian's powers, but also poison them just as if it was kryptonite.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why she was absent for this portion of the film, because she was under a green sun, and as long as that green sun was up, if it didn't kill her, she was going to be incapacitated.
But here's okay. So that the change from the comics there is that it was a planet that was created to sort of be a prison for Clark Kent or Kryptonians. Because of the green sun. So just had the green sun. And then eventually in the comic, she gets off that planet with another character we'll mention when we can do comparisons at the end. And here, the fact that there's both the green and the yellow sun from a lore perspective, like Superman on Earth, he still has his yellow sun powers even when it's nighttime, even when the sun's not directly shining on him, right? So in this planet, shouldn't the green and yellow sun just even each other out and make her normal?
No, because the green sun not only depowers, but it acts as if it's kryptonite.
Yeah.
So they're being depowered, but also being poisoned at the same time.
But why is that? Like, if the yellow sun on Earth works, even if you're on the other side of the planet where it's not shining, why?
Think of Superman or Kara on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
They're in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Cyborg Superman, right, really opens up his chest plate, and there's a big rock of kryptonite, and they immediately begin to become depowered. The yellow sun is still there.
Okay. So
it's kryptonite.
So it is just the green sun. You need the direct light to have it affect you like that.
The kryptonite is a poison to Kryptonians. So it will immediately affect them.
Okay.
Right? It'll immediately affect them. So having that green sun up negates everything, because the yellow sun energy is stored. That's how Superman remains powerful even at night, because it's like a battery. He's charged, right? They're charged. Kryptonians are charged under the yellow sun. So they're always taking in this radiation, always, constantly. So even when the sun is not there, that radiation is still in our atmosphere, and they're always collecting it. So there's no way for them to drop off. But if you introduce kryptonite, then it's a poison to them. So it's an immediate reaction that, will depower and kill them.
Okay. And I did like when Ruthie showed up. She stowed away and showed up, followed basically to this planet. And she brought the suit because again, Krem just left behind Supergirl's ship, whatever, fine. So she found the suit, she saw it, and Kara's like, it's just a stupid suit, Ruthie. It doesn't do anything. And she's obviously not wrong. It's not going to heal her or something like that.
Right.
But then she puts it on after that anyway. And we see her remembering Clark saying, oh, we wear this so that we don't look so scary to people. We wear this to represent our values as heroes, basically.
Yeah.
Why do you think she puts on the suit in that moment?
I think it's that moment when she's ready to start thinking ahead and stop thinking about the past. I think that's what putting on the suit represents to me. It's about, Supergirl saying, okay, I'm going to put 1 foot forward instead of taking 2 steps backwards, and thinking about what has happened. I'm going to affect change going forward. And I think that's why she puts it on.
Fun fact that I learned, that the cape for her costume was cut from the same material that Christopher Reeve's cape was cut from.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Cool fun fact. Okay, I bitched about Ruthie's getting sudden fighting skills, but I do appreciate from how she earned Lobo's respect from more of an intellectual perspective, where she's like, she at first tries being direct with the brigands, which doesn't work. And then she's like, oh, you think I'm a little crybaby girl? Let me use that.
Right.
And Lobo's like, I like you, kid.
Now get me out of here.
Yeah, no, I was glad she went back for him. Of course she was going to go back for him. He was never like, it was funny. Kara set him up, and of course Kara doesn't know at this point what he really is like.
No, right.
So she sets him up as this big scary guy, and he was never anything but nice to them, to the two of them.
No, he was quite wonderful. He was very joyful, I thought. Even in the bar scene when they first meet him, he's very seems like an okay guy. Yeah.
It's why it's like, has his mass genocide of his own utopia been greatly exaggerated?
Oh, you think he's such a nice guy that he wouldn't have killed off his whole
entire planet? It seems there's got to at least be some good motivation for that. That doesn't really seem to benefit anybody to do to themselves.
All right. Okay.
But yeah, I wouldn't mind to see more Ruthie and Lobo pairing up. Although he's like the corruptive influence on her. He's like, oh, you want to take your revenge? Here you go. Throws Krem at her. Like she's tied up. Yeah, she's like tied up in some wires. I don't know what you expect her to do right now, regardless. But that brings us to the whole most controversial scene, I'll say, where there's 2 things going on here. One is it does get very Mad Max. I don't see why that's a bad thing.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah. But we have like the motorcycles and the tanks and stuff, and they're doing circles around her. And I liked how it was kicking up the dust. I thought that was visually
I thought that was cool. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. And although I'll say Gillespie said that he was more inspired by like True Grit and Logan and John Wick, which I can definitely see as well. But then, there's talk about do you want to explain to anyone who hasn't heard about this, what's the whole needle drop situation and controversy?
All right. So the final, action sequence, there's a needle drop. It's a song. Kelty Gray sings The Middle, which is a cover of the Jimmy Eat World song. And I think, if I'm correct in what people are saying, is that it was a tonal mismatch for the action sequence.
I think that was the point.
Yeah. Like, I have no qualms with this choice.
She was literally stuck in the middle. Maybe it was a little on the nose, the lyrics, but
and
but
like,
it was metaphorical too, you know, where it's just this point where you reach in your life where you just see the chaos going around you, and you're like, what the fuck have I got myself into?
Yeah, like it was, I think, part of the story, because she can either go one way or the other. Like, which way is she going to turn? How is she going to be? Is she going to be the person that is, stuck in the past, or is she going to be the person that looks forward to the future and tries to make something of it?
Right. Is she going to lose herself to revenge, or is she going to build something positive?
Right. And that is the middle. And the same goes for Ruthie. This is the story that was being told. So I really can't fathom why people felt so strongly in the negative about it. Yeah. Somebody who would have to explain it to me.
What did you think of the score overall from Claudia Sarn?
I thought it was fine. I thought it was, it wasn't the greatest. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't think there was anything that, again, where I felt like, oh, why is this song playing?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like this song. Oh, I don't like this the feel of this particular moment. There was nothing like that for me. And so I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, so when I look at her, at Claudia Sarn, the composer, the Book of Eli is really I liked that film, but it's the only one from I really know. I have to say, when it comes to the score itself, I don't remember much except at one point kind of riffing on, the classic themes that exist. I do think that the needle drops are more memorable. And to be honest, for me, the controversial one, I think, was for me the most successful needle drop personally.
Okay.
But obviously your mileage may vary.
So yeah, I think that if you're going to not like the film, I don't think the score, the music, is the thing that makes you not like the film.
Mm-hmm.
Right? For me, that just doesn't hold weight.
And so how does the movie end?
So we have Kara pleading with Ruthie not to kill Krem, convincing her that it would not ease her pain. As Ruthie walks away, Supergirl picks up her sword and uses it to kill Krem herself. She recovers the antidote and returns to Krypto, saving him in time. Later, as Supergirl bids farewell to Ruthie, she invites her to join her in celebrating the rest of her birthday week.
So the whole getting back to Krypto thing, she had to find a ship, I guess. Hopefully one of those ships that crashed was still functional, so she could get herself and the brides off back to that previous planet where her ship was. Presumably, I shouldn't call them the brides. That's their captive name. But the women who were captured, so presumably took them back to the other planet, picked up her ship, and then went back to Krypto. I'm like, I need to know how space travel works in this universe, because also she was not in stasis, it didn't look like, when she went from Argo City to Earth. I was like, she and Krypto are going to be hungry when they arrive. How long does it take? Is there?
Well, we don't know what kind of feeding systems was in the capsule, was in the spaceship.
Yeah,
they might have had her hooked up to something.
But also, how long does it take? Because she wasn't old either.
Well, it takes a while. It could take a couple of years. It could take a couple of months, depending on if you get stuck in a wormhole or not.
Okay.
Come on, what kind of questions are these?
Science.
Come on, what is this? How does space work? It's just space.
But yeah, so it comes down to themes of revenge, and I guess this is where where we'll get into some direct comic comparisons. So, warning, we're going to spoil the rest of the comic we haven't already brought up. But of course, what the big difference there is, one of the big differences is that Kara doesn't. She talks Ruthie out of killing Krem, but actually Ruthie talks her out of killing Krem at the end, I recall. And they put him in the Phantom Zone, which is like the flat, it's always represented as like a flat plane of glass universe where they're trapped. And then like 300 years later, it's sort of ambiguous whether or not they kill him in the last
many years later.
Yeah, but what do you think they kill him?
Yeah, I think Ruthie kills him.
You do, as an old woman?
Yes.
Okay. What are some of the other differences with the comic?
Oh, well, there's no Comet. There's no Horseman.
Yeah. So who's Comet? I don't know. Like, part of me wouldn't have hated having.
Oh, no way! No way!
I mean, obviously we had Lobo instead, and I think when Lobo couldn't be in the comic, that's when they're like, "Okay, who's
Wait
Comet?"
a minute! Hold on! Here you are talking about how does the space travel work, and now you're telling me you want the Comet Horseman in the movie? Come on!
I can accept that. Just be consistent. She's in stasis in the comic too, so the comic cares about that part, like me. But okay, who's Comet for people who don't know?
Comet is was he the paramour in the story? He was.
Yeah, he was in like a previous story, and then he dies in this story.
No, he dies in this story, but he was her like partner. I don't want to say partner. It's not a partner. What was he to her? Just a fling?
Oh, he was her steed.
Previously?
I mean, so Comet, they had a romance in the past. He also was with Cersei at one point. The who we met Cersei in Creature Commandos. The witch of the mascara of Wonder Woman land. But yeah, so he was like a man who was like cursed to become this Pegasus figure, and then so Supergirl, they had like an alliance, and Supergirl would ride him as her steed, and he's the one who got her off the green sun planet, if I recall correctly. Yes. But then he ends up dying in this comic, which is like, okay. I don't know if he was ever brought back after that, but he sure dies in this one.
I think so he was like a centaur thing in the original comics. And he would transform into a regular man, right, at different points. And him and Supergirl had a relationship. This was in...
Well, was he a centaur ever? Or
this is not, like not in Woman of Tomorrow.
No, I know.
Comic book, but he was like a centaur type creature in the beginning. And then he was he was just
a human in the beginning, or just like a man figure.
No.
Oh, he was a centaur first. Okay.
Who turned into a man.
Okay. And then turned into a horse.
Yes.
Okay. Comic books, man.
The 60s were a weird time, man.
I mean, sure. Yeah. Why
not? and in the Tom King story, Comet is a horse who Supergirl, rides around, but also is a man.
Yeah, he's like turned back at the end during the final confrontation. Yeah.
So it's very weird. And unlike Elysia, I am happy that we did not have Comet in this movie.
He died in the comic so that Crypto could live, because Crypto was never really sick, apparently, in the comic. Justice for Comet. Justice for Comet. I may also have an extra affection for him because I drew parallels between him and She-Ra's horse. Swifty. I was a horse girl. I literally took care of horses growing up.
Okay, all right, okay, all right, okay, all right. In the comic, Ruthie wants to kill Krem with the sword that he used to kill her father. But in the movie, I'm gonna have to go back to it. They did take the sword. I'm almost 100% sure.
No, because
that they took
Ruthie had it afterwards.
No,
Ruthie had it. She brought it to the bar and was like, "I'll give this sword to anyone who helps me find Krem and kill him."
You're right.
But it was also like in the comic, Krem killed her father and left the sword in his body, which is
which is why Ruthie had it.
An extra insult, I guess. Yeah.
Which is kind of like the same thing here, right? I don't know.
Yeah, but, anyway, but it wasn't his sword. It was
no, it wasn't his sword. It was Ruthie's father's sword here.
Yeah, now he's a sword maker, which I liked. I like that. I don't know what a rock farmer does that a miner does.
Farm rocks. What do you want to know? It's like he grows rocks.
What does he do? He keeps adding minerals until they
you got a field, and the field has rocks in it, and we sell the rocks so people can kick them.
Okay, there we go. It's number one customer, Jean, is buying them for characters to kick.
Yes.
We've got the Sims from Scylla. We've got Vampire Armand. They're all lighting. We've got Corliss, Sea Snake. They're all being given rocks from Rock Farmer.
I have the product. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here handing out rocks. You know? There's a lot more carnage on different planets in the comics. There's a lot more action in the comics.
You can go to a bunch of different places. They had to limit locations for the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. What Ruthie doesn't defend Kara
from? Right, in the comic.
Right. Yes. No, go ahead. I
was say the screenwriter was actually talking about that this was the hardest part for her to cut. In the comics, Ruthie fights dinosaurs while Kara is like knocked out from the green sun. And apparently, she found this the hardest part to cut, but I imagine probably budgeting or, you can't fit that in with the whole brigand plot and all that.
Right. I thought that would have been really cool to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have liked that.
I mean, I understand from a financial perspective. I think from a writing perspective, it would have been cool. But from a financial perspective, I understand why it was cut.
That would have been pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
In the comics, Crypto isn't really sick.
Yeah.
It's all a ruse
Just kidding.
by Kara to try to teach this lesson to Ruthie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Crypto was never in any danger of dying, but Kara took Ruthie on this journey so she could see that revenge is not the way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big difference from the comic to the movie.
Yeah.
Because the stakes in the movie are much higher because obviously Crypto is really poisoned.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives it a little bit more oomph. And yeah, those are the biggest differences. But I think personally, I really did like Supergirl killing Krem. I thought it fit the narrative for this film. And she took the burden away from Ruthie and will have to carry that on. And I'm interested to see in future DCU things that have Kara in it, if that plays a role in her character development.
The fact that she did kill him.
The fact that she killed him.
Mm-hmm.
When
does she feel guilt?
We know Clark would not agree.
No,
with
would
this
not approve
at all.
Mm-hmm.
At all. So I would be happy to have that explored further in other properties that the DCU can give us.
See, that's the thing. And I think that they wanted to make Krem so despicable that you would be like, yeah, kill him. But I don't like, I would rather see her. He is despicable, but I just don't. I think just because I didn't buy into a consistency in his character, I don't hate him as much as I hate, for example, Ormond from House of the Dragon, you know? Like, I would rather see Kara kill Ormond.
My level of hatred did not rise to Kristen Cole. Yes. But for this movie, I can understand why Ruthie wants to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
And why
he's despicable.
Why that is. Like, and I never doubted for any moment that he deserved it because simply of what he did to her family.
No, yeah. And he said, the last thing he said, just to like really twist it in, is he's like, oh, I'm going to do to her. And she's like, nope. Right. And you're going to nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. R.I.P. Krem or not. You won't be missed.
Will not be missed.
Not sad. He won't be in Man of Tomorrow. So yeah, that is the question then. What's next in the DCU? We talked about the Lanterns. Starts in 2 weeks, and Clayface in October. And then what?
Man of Tomorrow in 2027, July 9th. Supergirl, and of course Clark plus Lex and Brainiac and Jon Stewart and maybe, presumably, hopefully Peacemaker.
Yeah, they kind of left him dangling
in
there.
That movie.
Yeah.
I think I think that's all we really know until Gunn decides to give us more information on what's next.
Yeah, we know there was stuff in the works, but no official announcements.
Nothing
and it seems
concrete
like
yet.
A lot of things were put on hold. Like there was supposed to be an authority, something there was supposed to be.
No, I think the authority is axed.
Yeah,
they're not doing it.
Okay, so not at all.
Yeah, not at all.
And then there was also like I was excited about Swamp Thing with James Mangold, and that seems to be. I think that one's still happening. It's just like James Mangold is doing other stuff first.
We will be getting a Batman.
Yeah, it's from the
next year.
From the other universe.
But is it really another universe at this point?
At this point, it is.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think they're being way too. Until they tell me they've cast another Batman, I don't believe it.
Well, I know it definitely was not James Gunn's plan. For example, we can see the silhouette that he gave us of Batman and Creature Commandos is very not Robert Pattinson. Yes, I did the B on purpose. I don't know, but I could also see possibly at some point he's like, you know what, that's popular. People get confused. What if we just, So
I really believe that will be the case.
I was really, for the longest time, I thought there's no way that's going to happen. And at this point, I'd be like, I don't know. I'm getting closer to 50-50 on that, on whether I think that's what's going to happen. Yeah. But we'll see. And when we find stuff out, we will share it with you guys.
And one last thing, I think I saw that Booster Gold, which was also announced, has now been canceled.
Oh. Wow. That's a bummer.
So we really have no idea what's going on with DCU.
Yeah.
At this point.
Well, hopefully Lanterns gives more. The audiences are so fickle at the moment. So I'm hoping Lanterns, brings people back because we were all so excited after Superman. And I don't think Supergirl's as good as Superman, obviously.
No,
you've heard me talking about it. But I also don't think it's like, Kraven the Hunter or something. Not to throw Sony under the bus. They did just give us
throw them under
Noir.
the bus. They've
been doing good stuff.
Kraven was terrible.
Yeah, it was terrible.
What was the other one? Kraven. What? You remember they had another one before Kraven?
No, you're not going to speak ill of Morbius, are you? Except the Batslander. I like Morbius, okay? I don't understand. And I understand why people don't like Jared Leto. I'll say that part. But just
Yeah.
from the film
Yeah.
perspective, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know who really doesn't like Jared Leto? James Gunn. Sorry. I feel less bad saying that after recent allegations. But what's up next for Marvel? We've got more, other than Lanterns, it's going to be some Marvel stuff coming up.
Yeah, we got Spider-Man Brand New Day, which is out today.
Mm-hmm.
First weekend. We'll both be seeing it and we'll be recorded.
Yeah, that's our plan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
X-Men 97 season 2 will wrap up in another week, and we will hopefully be doing a one-shot
we'll do
season review of that. What else is coming up?
Vision Quest. I guess Vision Quest is the next thing. Yeah.
And you know, this, I will say this, like, I think this Lanterns show is really important in that the time slot that is given, it's a 9 p.m. time slot.
Prime time
on Sundays. I think this could be a really important show.
Yeah.
Because this is the prestige hour.
Mm-hmm.
And if they pull it off, it makes it a lot more difficult for shows like Wonder Man to get canceled.
One would like to think.
One would like to think.
But yeah, there's a lot of, especially I notice, like, the bigger the studio, the smaller their guts, basically. In a bad way. You know what I mean? Yeah, the less guts they have. And they need to see another project like that succeed before they're like, oh, there's an audience for this. Of course there's a freaking audience for this. There was an audience for Wonder Man. Like, you didn't even promote the thing and people still watched it and loved it. You tried to bury that and people still watched it and loved it. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So the Lantern show is going to be really important to comic book stories.
Mm-hmm.
If it does well, that I think, we could see hopefully some real change in what gets told, how they get told, and when we get to see them. So fingers are crossed here.
Yeah. And we want to hear your thoughts about this movie that we just talked about all this, the Comic-Con news that we talked about at the beginning, about all the stuff that's coming up. Please send those thoughts to Comics versus Comics VS at thelorehounds.com. You'll find that linked in the show notes. And you'll also find in the show notes a link tree with links to, for example, our Discord, where there's a DC forum where we're chatting about all of this stuff. And there will be, I guess there will be per episode chats for Lanterns, since we're doing weekly coverage. You also find in the link tree links to our affiliate podcasts, including my own Will Shift Dust, which is currently busy with Silo. You're caught up, or I don't know if you watched this week's yet. But...
I did, and I just started, before we got on, I started the pod.
Okay. No, but I mean the new one that came out yesterday.
Oh, episode 5? No, I have not seen episode 5.
Okay.
I just started the pod on episode 4.
Okay, but you saw, we won't do the spoiler from episode 4, but I saw your reaction to that.
Yeah, God. Like, how? Why? What?
More rocks. Call Ruthie's dad from the comics. More rocks to be farmed.
But why? Why? Like, why am I subjected to this sort of things? That's what I want to know. Why do they make me go through these things? This is...
So, I think the Silo season's heating up. I'm excited to hear your thoughts on episode 5, because it picks right up from that and then explains.
Oh, it does? Okay.
Yeah, it's like, here's the explanations about all the stuff that's been going on.
Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah. In terms of in Silo 18. Yeah.
This had me had me down bad. The end of episode 4 of Silo, season 3. For everyone who's listening, I was down bad.
And also you'll find in the affiliate links our newest well, actually, there's two newest podcasts on the network. Well, first, I want to shout out Never Mind the Music, where psychology meets music. Weekly releases there. Lots of great stuff recently. But there's two new podcasts on the network. One is Dungeons and Do-Rags, which is currently covering House of the Dragon. And you and David joined for an episode with them recently.
We did. That was fun a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. They have a much more chaotic energy.
Oh, my gosh. You call it chaos? I got some other words, but all in good fun, though.
Yeah. They have a lot of fun over there. And then the day that we are recording this, just launched the newest podcast on the network, Cosmere Corner, from John and from Aaron and Richard from Radioactive Ramblings. And they're basically starting with the Mistborn books. They're doing the Cosmere Brandon Sanderson universe, but they're starting with the first Mistborn trilogy, which is what I've always had recommended to me as the way in. So I'm going to be reading along with their coverage, and that's how I am finally getting into Sanderson beyond his Wheel of Time books.
Nice.
Yeah. So definitely check that out. That's both Dungeons and Do-Rags and Cosmere Corner have video podcasts. So the first of those on our network. So you can also find them on YouTube if you want to physically watch them.
And like and subscribe.
If
you choose to do so.
And you can also find them wherever you listen to audio podcasts. They're there as well. What else we got going on the Lorehounds feed?
You just finished the Vampire Lestat, yes?
Actually, yeah. There's one more episode coming out. There's a season wrap.
Okay.
We had Mark from Never Mind the Music. It's a musical season because Lestat becomes a rock star, as he does in the book. And so Mark, John, and I did we gave our season superlatives with a lot of focus on the songs of the season on the music itself, with lots of music clips and stuff like that. So that will be coming out after this. I need to edit them both, and this one's going to be an easier edit, so probably this will come out first.
Can I listen to that without the season being spoiled?
No, it's full spoilers for the season.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah, so catch up on, it's season 3 of Interview with the Vampire is the Vampire Lestat. For anyone who's confused about that, they changed the title for season 3, and then they're changing the title again for season 4, which is Queen of the Damned, because that's the name of the next book that they're covering. And Akasha shall be unleashed because she is the answer.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and House of the Dragon, you guys are keeping busy with that.
Yeah, we just dropped a feedback episode today. Thanks to David for editing it. And we'll be back next week.
Yeah, so you guys have been doing 2 episodes a week, the regular breakdown and the feedback.
The breakdown and the feedback, because, we like to talk.
Well, there's been so much, a lot of academic input too, with Nate from the military side, Marilyn from the historical side, lots of people.
I think it's been a fun season to talk about because there are so many different points of views on the different characters. And it's just been really, a joyous occasion to watch everyone just delve into this season's viewing. And also, can never, ever, ever forget 2 to the guts, 1 to the face.
we won't explain that for spoiler reasons, but if you're caught up, you know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. If you are enjoying these or any of our podcasts, the best thing you can do to help us is to share. Just share it with other people who you think will be interested in the topic that we're covering or should be interested or just want to hang out with us as we talk about our favorite shows and movies and books. Nice reviews obviously help enormously wherever you're listening. They give us a big boost in the algorithm so that more people can find us. If you're ready to take the next step with us, we would love to have you in our Supercast and Patreon feeds. It's the same content in both feeds. You'll find that in the link tree in the show notes as well. And we thank obviously all of our subscribers. We have some special shout outs. So with Jean's help, we've selected for the music this time, for the thank you music from
hey.
You don't want any credit?
You know what I'm saying? Don't blame me.
I went to the Epic folder for obvious reasons. It's just a free music grab bag that we have. And then I give Jean titles and he's like, that one. So triumphant. Here we go. Thank you to our community volunteers, our Dunedain, Hand of the Pod, Nancy, aka Two Kids, Two Dogs, Captain of the Pole Hiram, Peter O.H., Keeper of the Show Tracker, Sub-Zero, Lorbrarian, Brian8063, and moderators Brian8063 and Aaron K. Thank you to our Discord boosters, Aaron K, Tiller the Thriller, Dube71, Athena Ajale, Let's Do, Nancy M, Ghost of Partition, Radioactive Richard, and Adrian. Thank you to all of our subscribers. You make it possible for us to keep going, especially our top tier, the Lore Masters, Sim Martian, Michael G, Michelle E, SC, Peter O.H, Nancy M, Dube71, Brian8063, Frederick H, Sarah L, Garrett C, Andra B, Kwang Yu, Nathan T, Sub-Zero, Aaron K, Dali V, Gnarls, Kathy W, Liz Stu, Jeffrey B, Lisa U, Ben B, Scott F, Stephen N, Julia F, Carly S, Ilmariel, Rocky Zim, Jessica A, Red Zippy, The TCS, Alan R, Mrs. Tennant, AC Wilson, Eli W, Cassie K, Chumbarooney, Katia, Josh Liu, Painton PDX, Corey G, Quinch, Jenny L, Slavinator, and always last, Adrian. All right, Jean, our podcast comes to conclusion. We have our T'Challa question answered. What is our next big comics versus request sending out into the world?
Oh my gosh. Storm.
Cast Storm. Any
No, we'll be
cast?
back with that. Let's just leave it at there.
Okay.
I got a name, but I'm not giving it up yet.
Okay. All right. Cast Storm. That's that. Outro music. Thank you for listening to The Lorehounds. Please send any questions or feedback to lorehounds@thelorehounds.com or DCU@thelorehounds.com, and check out our Supercast and Patreon feeds for ad-free access and bonus episodes. Look for all those links, including links to all the other podcasts in our network, in the link tree in the show notes. Any opinions stated are ours personally and do not reflect the opinion of or belong to any employers or other entities.